videos we covered very clearly, okay, just the basics of Django. The Django introduction part we covered. Django introduction. Who created Django? Who created Django? For which purpose we are going to use? What are various features of Django? Features of Django. The 5 mantras, whatever I covered, versatile. Next and after that, fully loaded, scalable, okay, like speed, like we covered fast, like there are multiple features I discussed, right? Next, and after completing that, even we started about how to install Django, okay, how to install sir. Python installation already you people aware how you can install Django. Next, how you can configure Atom, okay, like these are things we discussed, okay, like sir. Next, after that, okay, I introduced there are two words, Django project and Django application. Which word is the very superior? Which word itself is the very superior? Either project or application. Okay, Django project contain multiple applications, multiple applications plus some configuration information. Okay, project means so multiple applications will be there plus configuration information, which is nothing but Django project, okay, like sir. Now whenever we are creating, whenever we started Django project, so how the application structure looks like, I want to know here. Just how you can create a project. Can you please confirm? I forgot. Anyone, can you please tell the comment? I want to create a project, a first project. Like I want to create that. What is the way? Yeah. Respond. What is the way? I want to create a project. Django admin. Django admin. Start a project. Start project. And then first project, like we have to take. Correct, right? Yeah. Now, so this is the command we require to use. Can you please type each and every person? Django admin. Start project. First project, like we have to take. This is the command we require to use. Now here, take a bit very special care. First project folder will be created, okay. In this folder, one special file will be created. What is that special file? Respond. One special file will be created. What is that special file? Manage.py. What is the purpose of this manage.py? Okay, to run server, okay, to create applications, applications, etc. Observe there. So what is the name of this one? Manage.py. Manage.py. The name itself is what is the purpose of this one is to manage this project. Array, to manage this project, one special file will be provided by Django. That special file is manage.py. Okay, clear. Next, sir, here again there is one folder will be created named with the first project only, okay, like in this first project there are multiple files are going to be created. Yes, anyone, can you please tell, sir, what is that file? Settings.py. What is the first file, sir? Can you please confirm? Settings.py. Okay, second file is urls.py. Okay, that's all. Sir, can you please tell, everyone, can you please spell out what is the first file? Settings.py. Second file, urls.py. Okay, like don't worry about remaining things, sir. Sir, I don't want to remember all the nonsense, sir. Just remember only these two things, sir. The remaining things are dummy. As of now, dummy. We are not required to worry. Later, we have to talk about those things, right? But still, sir, can you please spell out the names, sir? So the remaining things are, okay, WSGL, okay, .py. Next, ASGL .py. Next, here underscore init .py. Okay, clear for you people, right? Yes, friends, everyone in the position to understand this. Everyone in the position to understand this. So order is not important. Don't worry about the order. Okay. WSGL.py, ASGL.py, ASGL.py. Next, and after that, WSGI gateway interface. Sorry. gateway interface, ASGI. Web server gateway interface, asynchronous server gateway interface, like yes, it is ASGI, like. But anyway, these names we are not required to worry. Okay, just ignore. But make sure, sir, these are two things compulsory you people should aware. Settings.py, urls.py. So all the things, all the people are in the position to understand about how you can start a project. Clear for you people, right? Yeah, respond. Any explanation is required about this one? Okay. Now my requirement is, let me delete this one. Okay. Let me delete this one. Okay. Move to trash. Now this project by default gone. No project. Let me go to this location. Django projects. Django projects. Let me go to this location here. What I want to take is, yeah. Django projects. Okay, like what is the command we require to use? What is the command we require to use? Can you please tell? Here LDIR, nothing is there. Nothing is there here. Okay, just my D drive Django projects folder is empty. Remember this one, sir. Okay, Django itself is empty like. Now I want to use the command. Please guys, Django admin start project. Next what is this one, sir? First project. Okay, like a first project, like, yeah. Observe, yes. Now this folder got created, right? If you want, yeah, just now you can see, sir, first project manage.py, first project. Okay, like these files are there, but among these two files are very important, sir. Three files are very important in there. Which three files? Please spell out these names. What the first one? What the first one? Yes, manage.py. Second one, settings.py. Third one, urls.py. Remaining three things, whether you aware or not as of now, don't worry at all. Okay, because some people are feeling overloaded, or these many names I have to remember for them. Just ignore these things. Okay, well, now how you can create a project? Everyone, sir, feels comfortable. Clear, right? Okay. Now, sir, here just take a bit special care. Once we have the project, I have a project is there, sir. This is my project. Of course, in this project, multiple applications are there. First application, second application, third application, and some configuration information is also there. Okay. If end user provide the request, sir. Okay, end user provides the request. Now he is going to get in the response. So first thing what you people should be aware. So to run your applications, some environment should be required. Who is the responsible to provide environment to run our applications? Web server. Okay, remember this one. Web server itself is the responsible, right? So Django itself is going to provide development server or not? Yes, Django inbuilt server is already there. We are not required to install separately. Inbuilt server is already there, right? Sir, if you are not feeling comfortable, Tomcat you can use Tomcat, like sir, WebLogic, WebSphere, WebSphere, JBoss, something like you people may aware, Resin, okay, Resin, Jetty, like all these things are various web servers. Okay, observe carefully about this one, sir. Inbuilt web server is already there. Tomcat, WebLogic, WebSphere, like sir, anything you can plug in, no issue at all if you are not happy with the default Django server. Okay, like, sir, now what is the job of this server? What is the job? What is the job of the server? Whenever you are sending the request, the main purpose of this web server is to provide environment to run our application. Okay, like, sir, I'm sending the request. Now who is going to get the request? Is server is going to get the request. Remember this one. Who is going to get the request? Server is going to get the request. Now the server, what it will do is, so this request is related to which project? Open urls.py. Open urls.py. I told, right? So from the urls.py, it will identify it will identify. Okay, like it is going to identify which is the corresponding application. Now what is the corresponding view function? It will execute and provide the required response to the end user. Everything is going to take care by everything is going to take care by, yes, a web server itself. Clear, right? Yeah. So Sri, don't worry about with respect to the Git, GitHub, all these things at this stage. First, try to aware first what is the project how you can develop. Okay. Later, how you can push pull if it is required. Just I will take. But just aware up to this terminology, right? First, a Django level you have to get perfection. So clear. Now I want to start my server. I want to start my server. Can you please tell how you can do that? Array, sir, what is the command we require to use? Sir, to manage this project. Yes, manage.py file is there. Manage.py file is there. Can you please start the server? Can you please just start the server? Okay, like yes, what I have to take care? Py. Okay, manage.py. Sir, can you please run manage.py? Run manage.py file. So which one I have to take? Run server. Okay, this command. This is the first command whatever we use, sir. First command whatever we use. Second command means this is the second command we are going to use. Py manage.py run server. Py manage.py run server like we require to use. Sir, now the server is going to be started. Okay, is going to be started, right? On which port number it will be started? What is the default port number? What is the default port number? Can you please confirm? Default port number is 8000. Is it possible to change this port number? Is it possible to change this port number? Yes, we can do that. No problem at all. Yes, how you can do? If you don't want yet a default port number, then what I will take is which port number you require. 7777 is required. Yes, then you can specify, no problem at all. Okay, like now observe that carefully. Observe a bit very carefully. Py manage.py manage.py run server. But make sure, sir, here one small problem is there. This is one small mistake most of the people are doing. Manage.py is available where? Manage.py is available where? Inside okay, first project. Inside first project folder, manage.py is there. That's why you have to go to this location, then you have to execute. But you are in D:/Durga Django projects. Now cd first project. Okay, like now here manage.py is already there. Manage.py file is already there. Don't worry, sir. Here manage.py is there. Now py manage.py. Next run server we have to take. Yeah, are you feeling comfortable? Now the server is going to be started or not? Yes, that's all. So what is the starting development server? Yet okay, like we are getting http colon 127.0.0.1 colon 8000. Like so this server got started like this. Now, sir, project is already there or not? Please confirm. Project is already there or not? Yes, project is already there. I created. What is the name of our project? First project. What is the name of our project? First project. Do you have any applications are there? Do you have any applications in this project? No. We didn't create any application. But for every project, by default, some applications are going to be added by Django itself. These applications may be used internally. Remember this. There are some default applications already there. Okay, like sir. Now, sir, server also run. Okay, run server. Server is in running state. Server is in running state. Okay, now can I send a request or not? Yeah, why not? Happily you can send the request. You can send the request. Now do you know, if I send the request for this, then okay, by default we are going to get. Okay, just observe. So but better to concentrate, don't try to execute parallelly. Pallavi, later we will take care about why that problem is coming and so on. Just listen carefully. Okay, because better to feed these words in your mind. Okay, now let me take this one. Let me take this. Yes, here I want to start here. Just observe carefully here. Let me take this. Yes. So Django, now who is the responsible to provide this response? Server itself is the responsible to provide this response. Clear for you people, right? Yeah, we got the response. We got the response. This is the HTTP response. We got this response, right? Okay, like sir, now if you are not starting the server, you are not allowed to send the request. If you want to send the request, compulsory, okay, server should be in the running state. Yeah, from day one onwards, we are talking about this one. Sir, here I used this command. I used this command. If you specify 7777, now what will happen? Now what will happen? Now instead of 800, now the server is going to start at which port number, sir? 7777. Akash, getting the point? Observe the difference. If you are going to specify, this number, now the server is going to run on which port number, sir? 7777. Okay, like yes, here it is the web server only, not app server. Narendra, clear, right? Next, how you can customize the server level configurations, how you can change later. We will take care if it is required. Ignore as of now. We are not yet entered into the Django. Then don't ask too many customization things at this stage. Okay, now clear for you people, but aware, is it possible to change? Is it possible to customize our own server instead of the Django inbuilt development server? Simple answer, possible. That's what you should aware. Okay, sir, up to this, any doubt? Are you feeling comfortable about two commands, whatever I used? Django admin, start project, first project. Next, the py, manage.py, run server. These are the two things, whatever we had. What is the next cinema? What I have to take is, sir, I have to create application. I require to create application, right? Okay, like, yeah. Sir, functionality wise, is there any difference of those web servers? Maybe performance wise, maybe memory utilization wise, maybe there may be a chance of differences. Viraj, okay, what is the need of going for customized web servers, right? Maybe performance wise, those things may be efficient. Apache is the best web server. Yeah, sir, now, so these are two things are very clear for you people, whatever we covered in the last session. Yeah. Amol is asking the doubt. Amol, you didn't attend last session? You didn't attend the last session? Okay, just refer the last video, nothing will be there. So in my local machine, okay, so there are several softwares are running. Okay, yet which for every software separate port is going to be allocated, yet which port number, okay, this development server is running, that is called port is something like address in our mission, at which address this particular software is running. Okay, like, yeah. So the new members, anyway, don't worry, just refer the last 3 videos I will share, so that you people can feel more comfortable. Okay, yeah, that's all clear for you people. Any doubt about these things? Yeah, port is something like address. Okay, port is something like address. Sir, simple example, you have your college building is there. Yeah, you have your own your college building is there. Multiple rooms are there. Okay, multiple rooms are there. Sir, computer science class is happening. Okay, room number 102. Okay, mechanical class is happening 103. Sir, electronics class is happening 104, something like that. Now in this building, for every class there is a number is there. Same way. So assume that this is my local mission. This is my local mission. In this mission, there are multiple softwares are running. Have you observed? Chrome is running. Yes, Chrome is running. Command prompt is running. Edit plus is running. Like Atom is running. Okay, like multiple softwares are running, right? So Django server is running, like so. These each software is going to run on a particular port number, that is called something like address. Array, on which port number, okay, Django server is running. On which port number Atom is running. Okay, like so for that number itself is nothing but 8000. Is it clear? Next, local mission is 127.0.0.1. This one itself is considered as local host. Now, in the local mission, in this local host, yet this port, my development server is running. Okay, can you please send request for this development server? So port number is something like address where that software is running, not installed. On which port number currently the software is running. Clear, right? Are you feeling comfortable? Yes. So up to these two commands only we covered. Two commands only we covered, right? Sir, what is the next cinema we have to start? Sir, start the application. Yeah, this is the very important, sir. Yes, sir, this part we have to discuss, sir. Sir, until this we covered a bit in detail in the last session, sir. But make sure start the application. Okay, how you can start the application, right? Yeah, just 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute, just wait. Here, just up to this, whatever we covered, observe carefully. Yes, how you can start a project. Next, and after that, how we can start a project, and then how to start the server. Okay, like, sir, can you please start the application? I want to create first the application, right? Yeah, this is the very important step. Creation of first application. Okay, how we can do that? Yeah, small doubts are there. Let me talk about this one. Sir, PY, yeah, application name, start. Do we need to specify port number explicitly to run the server? No. Py manage.py run server. If we are not specifying this one, what will happen is it is going to run the server at a default port number. Narendra, getting right? 8000. If you are going to specify some other port number, then it will run on that specified port number. So now creation of first application. Okay, it's a very simple, sir. So to create application, application, compulsory we have to create project or not? Create project must be required. Project already there. Project already there, sir. Already there. Okay, mandatory. Now, how you can create application? By using the command py manage.py. Sir, anyone can you please tell? I forgot. Start app, test app. Okay, like R app name we have to take. App name we require to take. Remember this one. This is the command we require to use to start. This is the command we require to use to start the application or to create application, right? So py manage.py start app name. Okay, like now I'm taking, sir, here just observe that the same name. Now test app I'm trying to take. So what is the name of application? Name of application, can you please tell? Test app. Okay, name of project, can you please confirm? Name of the project is what? First project. Okay, inside first project test app is there. Okay, like, sir, now let me create application, right? But up to this, any doubt about this folder structure? Observe carefully. Sir, here DB SQLite 3, why it's going to come? Because you started the server, because of that it's going to come. Don't worry. Okay, DB, whenever you run the server, database file is going to be created. But currently there is no work with that file as of now. Ignore like, sir, only first project and so on. Now what I want to take, let me create. Okay, but to create application, make sure compulsory the server is in off state. Okay, now what I'm trying to take is py manage.py start app. Okay, start app. What is the application I have to, what is the application name? Test app, like, any doubt about this command? Okay, clear. Now application is ready. Sir, what extra things we are going to get? What extra things we are getting, sir? Here now, are you seeing this one? Already we covered about manage.py. Yes, sir, this one. And the PyCache PYC files you are not required to worry as of now. Ignore this. These are the things internally created by Python virtual machine. Now, sir, this part must be required. Okay, sir, this is the extra things we got inside our application. What is the first thing, sir? What is this one? Views.py. Remember carefully. What is this one? Can you please spell out, sir? Views.py. What is the views.py? I will explain. Sir, admin.py. Okay. What is the first admin.py is there, sir? Sir, do you know what for which purpose we are going to use this? It is related to models concept. It is related to models concept, models concept and admin interface. Okay, models concept and admin interface. Sir, we don't know model, we don't know admin interface, that's why ignore. But somewhere definitely we require to talk about this one. Sir, apps.py. Okay, so application specific configurations, we have to take care. Application specific configuration we require to take inside apps.py. Sir, models to define models, to define model classes. Here you have to take care. Test.py to write test cases for our application. Okay, like, sir, what is this one is user.py? Yeah, this is the very important name. What is this one, sir? User.py. This is the very important name to write view functions. Remember this, sir. In this application, only one file you have to take care. What is that file? Is views.py. The remaining things as of now we are not required to worry. Slowly, one by one, in the next session somewhere we have to talk about that. Are you feeling comfortable, right? Yeah. Control C to stop the server. Why two init files are here? Init file is what is the purpose of init file? What is the purpose of init file? To consider the container folder as a Python package. Container folder as a Python package. Now test app is treated as Python package. Now why this file is there? To consider migrations of folder as a test package. So inside this folder, what will be there? Inside this folder, what will be there? Database specific information will be there. Okay, database specific information, database related things by default will be there. Don't worry. So these are things whenever time comes, automatically the clarity by default you will get. So only three commands for user. Sir, until first application only the terminology is very important. Second application onwards we are not required to talk. Sir, what is the first one? Django admin start project. Django admin start project. Sir, first project. This is the thing what we did. Project is ready. Okay, like next, sir, what I have to take? Py manage.py, py manage.py start app test app. App is also ready. That's all. So I didn't, we are not required to start the server because let me create this app. Let me define the app functionality and then at last I will take care about server startup. Are you feeling comfortable? Okay. Now there are few files you people should aware in the project. There are some files I told. What is the first one? What is the first one? Settings. What is the first one? Settings.py. Settings.py. Second one, urls.py. Okay. These two things compulsory you should take care. Anyway, manage.py we are using. Manage.py we compulsory we require to use. Next here, only one file is we have to worry. What is that file? Is user.py. That's it. Don't think too much. Ignore remaining terms. Sir, admin, apps, tests. Okay, worry about remaining things. Okay, like we are not required to worry. Yeah. When we creating app at that time, web server must be off. Correct? Shubham, we are defining the functionality. If the server is in up and running, how you can add that functionality? Okay. Now here, that's it. This is what you should aware, right? Now up to this basic terminology, any doubt about this? But for which purpose these files we are going to use, that part I will take care. Now application is ready. Okay, ready. Now so project is ready, application is ready. Activities activities required for application. Activities required for the application. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it is a valid Viraj, but not recommended. Okay, activity is required for the first application. Okay, first one, sir, legend. So why step by step, why line by line I'm dividing this one is why step by step, line by line, why I'm dividing this one for easy understanding sake. But second example onwards, so like this like this nursery type of discussion won't be there. Okay, the people who are a bit speed, okay, the people who are a bit speed, okay, just please bear until executing first application. Okay, the activity is required for the application. So the first we have to add our application in the settings.py file. Remember this one, because web server always going to communicate with the settings.py. Web server should aware the applications which are configured inside settings.py. Remember this one, sir. So which are configured inside settings.py. Okay, there only the applications are going to be considered by web server. Now observe this one small point I have to tell. Py manage.py. Okay, run server like I'm taking. Now 1 minute. Here, see this one. Are you seeing, right? Okay, I hope you people are seeing, right? Django version 3 point using settings, first project dot settings. Have you observed, right? So server is always going to use which one? Settings.py file. So in that compulsory your application should be registered. Hey server, please consider my application also to provide service for the end user. Yes, how you can do that? Let me open that file. What is the file name? I forgot. Anyone, can you please tell? What is the file name? Yo, respond. In which file I have to add my application? Settings.py. Remember this one. Settings.py. Let me open. This is the file. Already code is already provided by Django itself. We are not required to do anything. Sir, here there is one list is there. What is the name of this list? What is the name of this list? Inside settings.py, there is one name is there. Installed apps. Have you observed? Installed apps. There is one name is there, sir. So in this, you have to add your application name also. What is your application name? What is your application name? I forgot. Please guide. What is your application name? Test app. That's all. So what about these things, right? These are default applications provided by Django itself for our project. Admin, auth, content types, sessions, messages, static files, like these are things. It is. So these are applications are there. In addition to that, yes, this is my application. Comma, because these are the list elements, right? Rakesh, don't think too much. It is the list. In the list, first element, second element, third element, how they are going to be separated with comma, right? Array, L is equal to 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 40. Okay, like it is my list. Sometimes we may use in this style also. Okay, 10, 20, 30, comma 40. Okay, like yes, sometimes we may use this one also, right? Inside a list, okay, the indentation is not important. Remember, these are the default apps, and this is my created app. This is the first activity what we have to take. Clear? So can I add this one here? Yes, a test app. That's all. So whatever name you created, that name only you require to add. Don't create your own names. Okay, the application name must be matched here. Okay, well, sir, now some people may ask, sir, is it possible to create multiple applications in the same project? Ah, is it possible to create multiple applications in the same project? Yeah, why not? So test app. Next tomorrow, if you are trying to create, okay, polling app, okay, polling app. Next and after that, sir, exams app, something like exams app. Okay, like you can create, no problem at all. Okay, now, sir, you can add any number itself is acceptable. That's it. Okay, save this one, sir. So where is comma? Here, comma. Who is asking? Veerabhadraya. Multiple apps we can take. Here at last you are taking comma. Test app comma is not required. If you are taking comma also, no problem at all. Sir, one project, only one app is a good programming practice. No. In one project, multiple apps by default will be there. A group of applications itself is treated as, sir, is itself is treated as project. Compulsory we require to add. Akash, compulsory we require to add. But if we are comma is the bigger problem. Why comma is the bigger problem? You can add comma also, right? We can add comma also, right? No problem. At last, so in the list, normal list comma, at last you can add, no problem. Okay, just a save means control, yes. Normal thing only. Save means control, yes. Don't worry. Okay, yeah, clear. The first activity. Any doubt about this one? We have to add our application. We require to add our application in the settings.py. Okay, this is the first activity what we had. Sir, any application is the same. Jayvardhan. Okay. Next, second one, sir. Second activity. Very important, sir. Sir, you are creating application means, listen carefully. This terminology is very important. Okay, just maybe few days, you people may feel a bit difficult, but nothing because of terminology. Sir, here I have one project is there. Listen carefully. I have an application is there, sir. Application is there. Now my question is, in this application, in this application, so if you are creating application means, if you are creating application means, compulsory you have to provide some service to the end user, correct, right? Because I don't want to provide any service. What is the need of creating application? You require to provide some service. End user send a request. End user send a request. Sir, HTML, CSS, Python code where we have to save. Hemant, at least first example not yet completed. Slowly all the things will come. Just concentrate. Whatever I'm explaining. Sir, all your doubts are going to be clarified. Don't try to learn everything in the first session itself. Okay, please listen, concentrate. All the things will come one by one. Okay, because the course is almost 3 months, 2.5 months around. Just we completed only, this is the third session or fourth session. But you are expecting too much. Yeah, listen carefully. So the first thing, so this is the project what we have. This is the application what I have. Compulsory, it is always expecting. Compulsory, it's always expecting some functionality, right? We have to provide functionality to the end user. How you can provide functionality? Okay, that word is views, right? Okay, create views for our application, to provide the required functionality. Okay, remember this one. Array, I want to provide some functionality. What you have to take, you have to create what views. Where we have to do this one? Inside views.py file. Okay, where views.py file is available, which is present in our application. Yeah, the locations also, please take a bit very special care. So view is the responsible to provide required functionality. View is the responsible to provide required functionality, okay, for the end user. Where you have to define the view is inside views.py. Okay, because Django is always going to follow MVT design pattern. MVT. What is the V, sir? V means view, which is the responsible to provide the required functionality. Clear for you people? Yeah. Then immediately for that, yeah. Clear, right? Okay, view. So view, we have to provide where views.py. Yeah. So now there are two ways are there to create views. Two ways to create views. There are two ways are there to create views. First one, function based views. Function based views. What is this one? Can you please read? Function based views. FBVs. Shortcut FBVs. Like the people are going to use. Function based views. Second one, sir. Okay, class based views. class based views. Second one itself is CBVs, class based views. So total how many ways are there to define views? There are two ways are there. The first one is the FBVs, second one is the class based views. But anyway, yet so beginning level, okay, we have to talk about function based views. Remember this one. Next level, we have to talk about class based views. As of now, let me strict to function based views. So view functionality we can define by using a function. But here by defining classes we can define. Don't worry, both the things I will cover at this stage. Let me stick to function based views. Okay, like sir, how to define view function? Okay, we have to define view function, which is the responsible to provide, required response to the end user. Wow. Slowly we are talking about what the thing I have to provide to the end user. Okay, where you have to define that functionality inside user.py by defining a function. Let me open user.py. Sir, user.py is the part of application or part of project? Can you please confirm? User.py, is it part of application or part of project? Part of application. Remember this? Yes, of user.py. Yes. Okay. Now from Django shortcuts, import render like we have from Django. Okay, project like. Sir, here one small thing I have to take care. What is that? Is listen carefully, sir. At least the first example you is always we have to take very much care. Sir, here end user is there. Okay, listen carefully. End user is there. Now, whenever you are sending the request by using browser. Now, sir, here server is getting the request. Who is getting the request? Who is going to get the request? Server. Web server is going to get in the request. For every request, it will create HTTP request object. Remember this one. It's always going to create one HTTP request object. This request object contain end user required information. Okay, like now who is the responsible to create HTTP request? Of course, browser is going to create that and send it to the end user, send it to the server. Of course, server is getting this one. Now it will provide that to the view function. Hey, okay, this is the request what end user provided. Can you please provide response? Okay, now this view is always going to return which one is the response, right? HTTP response. The name itself indicates simple, sir. It is always going to return which things are HTTP response. Now that the response is going to send to the end user. Now the browser of end user is the responsible to display into the clear view format to the end user. Here two words are important: HTTP request, HTTP response. What is the input required for the view? What is the input to the view? Response. What is the input to the view? Input to the view function is request. What is the output of view function? What is the output of view function? Response. Like two things. Request is coming. Now this request will become input to the view. Now, sir, this view function is going to generate required response. Now that response is going to send it to the end user. Which response? HTTP response. I'm talking about functionality, Viraj. Forget about URLs at this stage. Concentrate only which response you want to provide to the end user. Okay, like yeah. Well, now what I have to take is, so you have to create. Okay, 1 minute. Def. Okay, any name you can use. Display. This is my view name. View is a function, right? I told display is the name. Now, what is the argument I'm passing? Request. Any name you can use, but internally, this one is always HTTP request. HTTP request object, right? Okay, well. Now, which response I have to provide to the end user? Which response I require to provide to the end user? So, HTTP response, right? HTTP response. Let me take one string. Okay, one string I'm taking, sir. So now what I want to take HTTP response, right? Just I'm taking welcome to Durga sir, welcome to Durga sir, welcome to Durga Django classes purely, okay, purely nursery level classes. Purely nursery level classes. Okay, like sir, this is the response I have to provide to the end user. Okay, like so what I have to do, you should not return yes, sir. You should not return yes, sir. If I return yes, sir, what will happen? It is going to return string, but web application is the responsible to return which one? HTTP response. HTTP response. That's why. So you have to create HTTP response object. Under that object, you have to return. Okay, HTTP response. How you can get? Very simple, sir. From here, see this one, from Django dot HTTP. From Django dot HTTP import HTTP response. Okay, it is a class. It is a class which is available in this module. Django.http import response. What I have to take is create a response object. How you can create response object? Anyone, can you please tell? Suppose here this is my class test. This is the class test. Okay, some functionality is there. I want to create test object. Anyone, can you please tell? This is the way, right? To create test object, this is the way, right? This is the way. This is the way. Just a class name followed by bracket open and bracket close. Itself is an object. Okay, like same way. Here, what I have to take? Return HTTP response of yes. Yeah. Ayyo, view function is ready. View function is ready. Of course, I'm not using this request object in this example, but next example somewhere definitely this request is going to be helpful. Remember that view function is always going to take end user provided request object, yeah, the argument, and it is going to provide response. Remember carefully about this one, sir. Okay, in this example, I'm not using this request object, but web container is always going to provide request object, or web server is always going to provide request object, because sometimes what will happen is end user may ask, hey, end user requirement is, so I want to download a movie, download movie. Are which movie you want to download? Bahubali. End user providing movie name, right? End user providing movie name, this movie name will be saved inside request object. Now this request object is coming as the argument. Hey, end user selected which movie name, okay, request dot something like get parameter or something. There is some mechanism is there to get the end user provided information. In this example, my end user is not providing any information, just is sending the request by open the browser. That's why. So, but compulsory, you require to pass this one. Make sure, sir. Okay. Any doubt? Yes, we have to import HTTP response compulsory because we are using that class. Compulsory, we require to do that. I'm not using HTTP request object. That's why don't worry. Just keep that in variable. Yeah. So now why we are returning HTTP response? Why we are returning HTTP response? This is also important, right? Okay, why you are returning HTTP response? Here simple. End user locating where? Now legend observe carefully. End user is locating somewhere in Hyderabad. Okay, somewhere in Hyderabad. Okay, my server is available or my application is available somewhere in the US. Assume that it is in New York. It is in New York, like sir, this is the application which is there. Okay, this application is locating at New York, server is locating there. If I send the request, now I'm getting the response. Okay, whatever end user sending the request, that request should be understandable by server. Okay, remember very carefully, whatever request this end user is sending, that request should be understandable by server. Whatever server providing the response, that response should be understandable by my browser. Okay, remember my browser is the web client. Okay, like browser should understand that on the display here. So there should be common understandable form between client and the server. That common understandable form itself is nothing but HTTP. Okay, observe carefully. There should be some common language must be required. So that the language should be understandable by both the people. That the common language which is going to be used web client and web server is the HTTP server. Sir, assume that I'm talking English, maybe Butler English or some other English. Anyway, I'm talking English. You can understand this one, right? You can understand my English. Then, okay, both are in sync. Suppose I'm talking Japanese language. Are you going to understand? Are you going to understand? No. If I keep on starting, oh, that just the Japanese language, kya kya, mea mea, something, what you are going to understand? Nothing. So, two persons should require to communicate. Compulsory some common language must be required or not? Yes, friend, need some common language or not? Yeah. So here client is nothing but end user. Of course, our browser. Okay. Browser is representing the client. Client and server should understand some common language. Then only communication is going to be happen. That the common language over the web, we are using what? HTTP, sir. Okay. Server is going to tell, hey, browser, I will understand you, but make sure you have to provide the request in HTTP request. HTTP request. If you can send the data in HTTP request form, then I can understand you. Okay, like then immediately browser is telling, hey server, okay, you can provide response. Okay, if you want me to understand your response, compulsory make sure you have to provide HTTP response only. Yeah, feeling comfortable? So why HTTP request and HTTP response is required? Why this particular format? That is the particular format which is understandable by client and server. Okay, like if you are going to provide some other response, a text response, or otherwise normal string response. Sorry, taking the session in the Japanese language, but you don't know Japanese. The same type of terminology will be there. That's why here, why I'm taking this HTTP response. Everyone in the position to understand? Okay. So request is the HTTP. It is just a variable. Of course, internally this variable is going to pointing to HTTP request object only. Believe me, internally it is going to point into HTTP request object. Okay, sir. Here, do you know? You this much innocent people, man. You people are. Uh, yeah. Mm, yeah. Here, see this one. I have def. Sir, here display is there. Def display is there. Now, sir, name I'm trying to take. Name I'm trying to take. Or some X I'm trying to take. Okay, print X. Print X I'm taking. Yeah, well. Now, can you please call display by passing Durga as the argument. Now, which value you are passing? Can you please confirm which value you are passing? Durga you are passing. Durga you are passing. Now, X is what type? X is what type? What type? String type. Okay, like X is what type? String type. Color is passing whatever the type it will be there. Now, let me execute this one. Or otherwise, yeah, py test.py. Happily, Durga is going to get the chance. Now, if I can take a display of 10, what is this hexa type? What is this hexa type? Int type. Okay. Now here just observe that, then we are going to get perfect. So means X is a simple variable which is going to hold your passed object. Are you getting? X is a simple variable which is going to hold your passed object. Here, this variable can be any name you can use. Need not be X. Correct, right? Need not be X. Any name you can use. Any name you can use. Okay, if you are passing string object, now X is pointing to string object. If you are passing int object, X is pointing to int object. Correct? Okay, same terminology is for our display function also. Array display function is there. Okay, request I'm passing. Request I'm passing, sir. So display request I'm trying to pass. Now, who is the responsible to call this function is my web server is the responsible to call this function. Okay, here I'm calling display function manually, but in our Django, who is going to take care? Web server. Web server is always going to pass a HTTP request object. Yeah, the argument. It is just a variable. It can be X also. Internally, point into which object, right? HTTP request object. Oh, getting the point? Now, can you please confirm? Is this name either request or any name I can use? Is this name is the request or any name I can use? Any name you can use, any name, but X internally holds which object? X internally holds which object? Which object? HTTP request object. Remember this one, HTTP request object. Who is the responsible to call our function? My Django. My web server is the responsible to call this function by passing HTTP request object. Okay, that's why meaningful name is the request. Meaningful, boss, it is the request object. Meaningful name instead of X, Y. Better to keep some meaningful names. Okay, that's all. Now this function returns which object? Yeah, respond. Now this function returns which object? Now this function is returns which object? Which object? HTTP response object, right? HTTP response object. Now HTTP response object server is going to get. Now the server is going to send it to the end user. End user means browser. Browser display this response properly to the end user. Because browser can understand HTTP response or not? Yes. Browser can't understand string, but browser can understand HTTP response. That is the reason whatever response you want to provide, make sure compulsory you have to provide in the form of HTTP response only. Oh, clear, right? Rendering means, do you know convert? Convert. Maybe there is another next level we are going to use this one. Don't worry. Rendering means converting. Ignore, because default it is provided that import statement. I'm not going to use. Ignore. That's it. Clear? That is the default line generated by Django. As of now, I'm not going to use. That's why ignore. That's it. Rendering means okay. So conversion. Maybe in the next level we may require this rendering. Ayo, are you feeling comfortable? At least in this session, shall we see the response? I mean response of first web application is a very important, right? Yeah. So now here see this. This is the HTTP response, right? Better to keep this response in the meaningful form. H1 HTML response. H1, okay, like I'm taking. Yes, H1, H2, like you can understand, right? H1, H2, like so that it is going to display in the heading form so that more readable to the end user. Okay, well, now, sir, how many things are ready, sir? Can you please confirm? Come back to our story. I created a project, okay, and then created an application, and add that application inside the settings.py. Okay, like next define view function inside views.py. Yeah, are you feeling comfortable with this? Any doubt? Yeah. So how to create application? Okay, like you should aware, right? Okay, function based views, activities which are required. Let me take here. Okay, like that's all. 1 minute. Yeah, these are the things whatever we did. Class based reviews, function based reviews are there. These are things we did already. Now for your notes sake, let me take this line. Yeah, sir, here this line is not required. Rendering, I'm not going to use this one. Okay, like, sir, what is the type of this one? What is the type of this one? Can you please tell? What is the type of this one? HTTP request type. Someone is asking, where is the proof that it is the HTTP request object? Very simple. Print type of request. Print type of request. Type of request. Then it's going to tell that it is the HTTP request. Don't worry. After seeing the first response, I will take care about this line. Okay, well. So now view is also ready, sir. Okay. Here see our diagram. Now observe carefully. Yes, I created a project. I created a an application, and I created an application. In that I created a view function. Okay, like, now, sir, here end user is ready. My view function can provide. My view function can provide. Okay, HTTP response. Clear. Now my question is, we are passing request parameter to the function, but where we are using the request parameter? Yeah, simple, Rajesh. Rajesh. Yeah. Here, just in our example, please take a bit special care. What is the argument to the display? What is the argument to the display? What is the argument to the display? Request HTTP request object. Internally, it is the HTTP request object. So web container or web server always going to provide request object for the view. Hey, view, if you require request object, okay, can you please use this object like? So whether you want to use this request object or not, that is your job. Okay, because we don't know until we didn't explain, sir, anything. That's why just my intention is the basic example. Okay, in the next examples I will use this request object, but compulsory web server is always going to provide request object for your view function, whether you are using or not using. In this example, I'm not using request object, but in the next example, so definitely I may use request object. Hey, are you getting the point? But providing request object is the responsibility of web server. He's always going to provide that. Okay. Just like self, by default it's always going to be there, right? Like, so that is the job. So here just observe this one, sir. Assume that there are two persons are there. Durga, you wrote one view function, and some Ravi, you wrote another view function. Durga, he may not use request object, but Ravi may use request object. Hey, from where this request is coming, I want to know. What is the name of end user, I want to know. Okay, like, so sometimes you may require request object. That's why web container, web server always going to provide request object for you, whether you are using or not. That is your job. Because I don't know anything, just I'm at the very beginning. That's why I'm ignoring as of now in this example. But in the next example, definitely we require to use this request object. N number of new things I have to do with this request object. Believe me. Clear, right? Yeah. Can we write views.py within the class? No chance at all. What is the meaning of Joshi? Rabindra Joshi. Where is the class sums? So we can define views by using class-based views. So that functionality is the different, but it is function-based views. What I'm taking. Yeah. Now listen carefully, sir. Up to this, yeah. Please, up to this one, what we did. Now observe. Is the same step always code change as per requirement? No, the steps are always the same. Maybe the way of coding may be different, Susri. Inside the view function, just in our example, I wrote only 2 lines. Tomorrow, you may require to write 100 lines, 200 lines. That depends on your functionality. Okay. Now, at this stage, until first example, please keep your doubts aside. Slowly, your doubts will be clarified. Okay. Yes, the concept is going on. Yeah, well. Sir, now, application is the project is ready or not? I respond. Project is ready or not? Project is ready. Project is ready. Application is the ready or not? Right? Application is the ready or not? Ready. Ready. Next, sir, view function is the ready or not? View function is the ready or not? Ready. Ready. Okay, well. Now, so everything is ready. Waiting for the end user request. waiting for the end user request. Now, end user, sir, wants to send the request for this view. Okay, take very special care. So how the end user can send the request for this view, for this view? So you have to provide URL pattern for the end user. Remember this one. Array end user, I have display function is there. If you want, you can call display function, no problem at all. I will provide required response. But to call this display function, you require to use some URL pattern. Please call by using this URL pattern. Okay, like you have to provide URL pattern for the end user. Remember this one. So URL pattern is required for which person? End user. End user. By using URL pattern, end user can send the request for our views. Remember, right? Okay. So which URL pattern you want to configure for this? Okay. Any name you can use. Any name you can use. No problem at all. Okay. What I want to take is I want to map this URL pattern with the greeting. Remember this one. What is that one? Greeting. Okay. Greeting. Or otherwise, just to say hello. Array. Yes, you can ask hello, hello, hello. Like, can you please ask hello? Like you can ask. Then immediately I will provide this response. No problem at all. But make sure you have to call by using hello, hello. Like, sir, what is the reason for that? Is how many view functions are there here? Respond. How many view functions are there in our example? Only one. Tomorrow, is there any guarantee only one? Maybe 100 view functions are there. 100 view functions are there. End user required which view? Compulsory has to differentiate, right? For that, for every view, we have to define separate URL pattern. Clear? Are you feeling comfortable? What is the need of URL pattern? Who is going to use URL pattern? End user required URL pattern to map our view. Where we have to define, sir? Inside urls.py. Remember this one, sir. So view is ready. Ready, sir. View is the ready. Ready like. Sir, now what is the next one? Okay, here just let me talk some points about view, sir. Each view will be specified as one function in views.py. Okay, what is the name of the view? Name of the view, display. Okay, each view, sir, should take how many arguments? At least one argument. Okay, each view should take at least one argument. What is that argument? At least one argument. What is that argument? Request compulsory. Of course, internally HTTP request object, right? Next, sir, each view should return. Okay, each view should return which object? Which object? HTTP response object with our required response. Yeah, that's all. HTTP response object only internally contain our required response. This is the response what I want to display to the end user. Okay, like now next activity, sir. So activity 1, yes, add our application in the settings. Next activity 2, create view for our application. Activity 3, okay, define URL pattern for our views. URL pattern for our view function inside where we have to define respond inside which file? Array URLs inside which file? urls.py. Now take very special care about this one, sir. Okay, this point, if you can aware this, nothing will be there. Let me open. What is the file name? What is the file name? Which file is required now? Which file is required now? urls.py. Which is there at project level or application level? Which is there at project level or application level? Okay, which is there at project level? Remember this one. It is the project level, not application level. Okay, now here say this. From django.contrib import admin. So from django.urls import path. Okay, well, excellent. What I have to take is, yeah, very important, sir. I have to define URL patterns is a list. Already one URL pattern is already there. Already one URL pattern is already there. What I have to take? I want to define one more URL pattern for my test function. Okay, it's a very simple. First, import your file where this display function is there. Okay, views.py, this module available inside the test app package. Can I use the word? Can I use the word? Is this views.py available inside the test app package? Okay. So inside that views.py, I have to call display. What I have to take care? From test app package, import views. Import views from test.app, from test app, import views. Okay, like views is ready. Views is ready. This module is imported. Now I'm trying to take path. Which path you want to take? Hello. This is the URL pattern, sir. This is the URL pattern. Here, this hello mapped with which function? Anyone, can you please tell? This hello mapped with which function? What is our function name? What is our function name? Okay, display. So views dot display, because sir display is available where, sir? Inside views. Inside views dot display. That's all. Cinema got completed. Okay, this is just all these things are only one time activities. Don't worry at all. Okay, so only this line from test app, import views, and then so hello path. But in the old versions, do you know here this point also? In old versions, what we have to take is sir, instead of this path, URL was there. URL was there. Okay, like sir, now here in the newer versions, okay, this is in the old versions, instead of path, we have to use URL function instead of path function. Path is a function. Instead of path function, we have to use URL function. That was the old versions, right? Okay, some people may feel, sir, Django 1.11, Django 2x like I used. So then which thing we require to take care? URL. But now it is the path. More easy. Our life become easy with this. Yeah. Any doubt? Are you feeling comfortable? now URL pattern is also ready. Just you have to intimate, hey, end user, if you want to get the functionality of this display, can you please call this hello, so that our display function is going to execute this response. I will send it to you. Okay, like is going to be happen. Now share this URL pattern to the end user, so that by using this he can contact like. Clear, right? URL pattern list can be here. Is it hello is compulsory or any name you can use? Is it hello is the compulsory or any name you can use? Any name you can use. But make sure this name we have to share to. Make sure this name we require to share to end user. Okay, end user. Otherwise end user can't communicate with our view directly. Okay, simple. Now observe that carefully, sir. Yeah. So now listen carefully up to this whatever we did, sir. don't feel too much here. It is a very easy. So start a project, start app application inside settings.py. Okay, next define view function, inside views.py. Okay, define view function inside views.py. Define URL pattern for view inside urls.py file. Oh, all the things are ready. Clear, right? Anand, we are not required to share page by page. Home page URL we are going to share. From the home page, the remaining links we will take care. Okay, well, now the remaining story. Only two things. You are ready to see the response. You are ready to see the response. What you have to take care is run server. Run server. Start the server. Start the server and send the request. Send the request. How the end user will send the request? HTTP localhost or otherwise 127.0.0.1 0.0.1 okay colon 8000 slash what I have to take care is with the what URL, what is the URL defined? Can you please confirm? What is the URL you define? Hello, that's all. Okay, this is end user sending the request with this URL. Now, sir, what will happen is now who is going to get in the request? Web server will get the request. Web server will get request. What web server will do? Open urls.py and identify. Open urls.py and identify the corresponding view function. Okay. Next, execute that view function. And return HTTP response. HTTP response to the end user. Yeah. Have you observed the flow also? Yes. Whenever end user sending the request, first server is going to get in the response. Server got the request. Server open urls.py and identify corresponding view function. Okay, with the hello, what view function is configured? Okay, display. Okay, like now execute this display function and it is going to return HTTP response. Yes, this response can you please hand over to the end user. Wow, how beautiful. First time you people may feel difficult, but nothing is there. Believe me, nothing is there. Just so that's all. If you aware this one, Django got completed. Okay, if you aware this one, Django got completed. That's all. So because no more new steps, just in the views.py, instead of defining one function, you have to you can define multiple views, multiple URL patterns. Nothing. Okay, so for the first example, definitely you people are going to feel a bit difficult. Okay, because first time, right? Second time onwards, it will become very easy for you people. Yeah, clear. Now only two activities are pending for me. Only two activities are pending. So already server is already in running. Let me stop the server. Yes, let me stop the server because it's already in running state. No problem. Okay, how to run the server? Yeah, for single app also we have to add in the settings. Nagalakshmi, for any number of applications we require to add. Can you please confirm? Yeah, what I have to take? Py. Yo, I forgot. Please respond. Py manage.py. Sir, from where you have to execute this command? Please make sure inside project folder. Inside project folder, there only this one is available. Okay. Py manage.py. Run server. That's all. Default port number only. Default port number only. In your application, if any problem is there, here you can see the problems also. But it is started properly, means you are not having any issue with your application. Yes, this is the thing. Now, what is the URL pattern? Hello is the URL pattern. Now observe this. Now let me open this one. Yeah. Can I send a request? Can I send a request? Yeah. Please, I have one doubt. If I send this request from the browser, I'm sending this request. What the browser will do? Browser will prepare HTTP request object and send it to web server. Okay, now server got that request. Immediately what the server will do? It will check URL. Oi, hello, is the URL. Open urls.py. Open urls.py file. Inside urls.py, it will identify what is the corresponding view function for this hello user.display. Now, immediately inside views, display function is going to execute. Now, this person is providing HTTP response of this yes. Hello, welcome to Django Durga classes, purely nursery level classes. Okay, that's all. Now, here see this one. Observe carefully. A big congratulations. Yeah. Have you observed, right? HTTPS, if you want to use, for that there is some security certificate must be required. Okay, ignore. So as of now, so if you are sending the request, welcome to Django classes, purely nursery level classes. Yeah. Hey, from where this response is coming? From where this response is coming? Whenever I'm sending this request, who is sending this request? Who is sending? I'm sending the request. From where I'm getting this response? This response finally coming from the view function. Finally coming from the view function. Of course, so who is the responsible to execute that view function? Django. Django development server is the responsible to execute. Okay, it provides environment to run that. Now HTTP response is provided by end user, provided to the this end user or to the browser. Browser it is displayed the response for the end user sake. Okay, sir, I don't want this response. I don't want this response. Okay, what I want to take is here I want to take some other response. So don't here just don't feel difficult. Don't feel difficult. Really Django is very easy. Okay, Django is very easy. This is the response I want to take. Yeah, now this is the response I have to take. Yeah, sir, is it required to provide complete HTML? Yes, recommended. Even you are not taking complete HTML, my browser is going to take care. Okay, converting into complete HTML, everything is going to take care. Okay, like yeah. So don't feel this is really Django like I'm trying to take. Yeah. Now here server, if you perform any change, automatically, sir, we have to restart the server. If we perform any change in our settings, views, URLs, we require to restart the server. But the beauty of Django is if you perform any change, automatically it will be restarted. Okay, automatically it will be restarted. We are not required to do that activity, right? Okay, now here see this one 225502. Okay, 1 minute. Don't feel difficult. Just it is a first time feeling. Okay, like just let me save this one. Can you please observe this? Automatically my server is going to be restarted. Okay, automatically the server should be restarted, right? Because I selected that. Okay, I selected that. Yes, it is, that's why it is hanged. Now observe this one. Is it already restarted or not? Already restarted or not? Yeah, it's a restarted. Okay, now observe. Let me refresh this one. Now am I going to get updated response or not? Am I going to get updated response or not? Yes, let me refresh. Yeah, my response got changed. That's what you should aware. If you can do these connections, it will nothing is there in our cinema. Yeah, good programming practices index.html, but anyway need not be. You can mention index.html. HTML names we are not going to keep, but generally for a home page we can take HTML something like. Yeah, but how you can add static pages, all those things I will take care. Static files, static pages, like. So HTTP response internally contain which codes are HTML code only. HTML code only. If you know HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, very beautiful applications you can develop. But what about remaining lines of the code how you can do? That part I will take care. Are you feeling comfortable about the first application, first project? Thoda thoda. Eh? Yeah, it's a get method, Viraj. Thoda thoda. Okay. Yes. Better to try, better to execute up to this. Okay, better to try this one. Okay, still if you people are going to feel difficulty, then nothing, don't feel difficulty at all. By next session, sir, all these things are we are kings. That feeling you people are going to get. Yes, here one small point views.py. Is it a Python function or not? Is it a Python function or not? Yeah, respond. Is it a Python function or not? Yes, you can write any Python code, but make sure at last you have to return HTTP response only. But slowly we will move to the next level, then you will get much clarity. I'm not sure, Jayvardhan, I'm not perfect with React or Angular. That's why I may not show. But in the YouTube or Google, you can see multiple examples how to connect React with so Django, how you can use Angular inside Django. With by seeing, if you already aware Angular or React, it will become very easy for you. Okay, let me check. By that time, if my data science is going to be completed, definitely I will explain. Yeah. Next are these running notes I have to share with you people. Yes, just wait for a minute.